Hello, my name is Janine Yoder, and I am the founder of Mentor Masterclass, which is an online life coach training program for women around the world. I've been leading calls on Zoom and running my business online for 10 years now. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how to create engaging, connecting places on particularly Zoom where people can gather, where you can lead, so you can have experiences where your participants are able to participate. They're able to feel seen. They're able to see others. They are able to be heard and feel that they're being heard. And so that you can create a grounded and peaceful online teaching experience that allows you to create transformation, allows your participants to learn, and for it to feel good. So I've been leading my online course, Mentor Masterclass, for many years, as well as sister circles, which are intimate experiences for women to gather, classes that include movement or learning classes. I've done meetings for my team, which is a small team of 5 people, up to webinars and team building webinars for 200 plus people. So there are lots of different ways to use Zoom. And the most important thing is your confidence, your ability to know how to navigate it. Because if you're not feeling confident, comfortable, aware of the technology and how it can be really disturbing, and it can have the opposite experience. You, I know, are trying to do your best to create a powerful, engaging experience. And if you don't understand what's going on or it feels chaotic, I know your intentions aren't meant. I've seen a lot of new people, including my daughter's teachers, some of my favorite yoga teachers, people who've never done online teaching coming online. And I can feel how frustrating it is for the participant and you as the leader to not know how to create a powerful experience. So I'm going to help you figure that out today, hopefully in 10 minutes or less, and you'll leave here feeling super excited. And your next meeting on Zoom is going to go powerfully and so good. So I'm also doing this for my own students. So while I've felt frustrated for the teachers and my daughter's classes that are like wasting a lot of time online, I've also know that I have a lot of my own students who are getting their coaching business up and running, who will want to learn this and use this for their business. So I'm happy to make this video and support you guys today. So the first and most important thing I want to cover is preparing yourself. And a major reason that the Zoom meetings are not going well is a small insecurity I think everyone has when they start off online. I had it as well. And that is when you're speaking to a group and they are all muted, it feels a little weird because you're speaking into this fertile void. You don't hear any sounds, not a breath, not a laugh, not a sigh. And that can be really weird and uncomfortable when you are used to teaching in a room where if you were leading yoga, you would hear people breathe or om. When you're leading a class, you would hear people sigh or respond or laugh at your joke. When you're talking on mute, you don't hear that. So you feel disconnected, and then you think that you're creating a disconnected experience. So the tendency is to want to leave the line unmuted for your participants, where all the sound is coming in from all the people. That is not a good idea because it's actually very disturbing and very disrupting. And what happens is people don't feel seen. They're not really able to engage. Their nervous system goes on tax because of the delay in connections, the sound waves coming through, the lots of different sounds can come from people talking to the frequency that creates feedback. All of that really is disruptive, and it is not doing what you think it's doing. So I want to encourage you to learn the mute and unmute function and really use that for the majority of your meeting. And there's a couple ways to do this where you yourself are in charge of that, or if that's too stressful because you have content and things that you're teaching, you teach your participants at the beginning of the call so that they can do that for themselves and they understand the rules. So that's the first thing I'm going to go into next is sound and really how to do that on Zoom and show you how to do that. I won't be able to screen share my particular Zoom with you to show you those functions. So it would be good for you to open your Zoom with me. Just go into one of your meeting rooms. I should be able to show you that on screen share in 1 second. But just a heads up, if you haven't already, maybe pull up your Zoom so that you have it going with me and I can walk you through the functions. You can hear me doing it. So that's the first main thing though, before I do my screen share, is I want to share with you, get comfortable with talking into the fertile void and know that it's better for you. I'm doing it right now with this video. It's better for your participants if they are muted. Always lean on the side of doing more muting and unmuting during the call than leaving a completely open forum. So the first thing too, to prepare, I want to tell you is you want to know how to share it easily so people can find their link, because again, it can put you in a frenzy in the beginning of your meeting if people are emailing you like, I don't have the link, where should I go, how do I get on? You want to make sure that when you're planning a scheduled class or event that people have really easy access and memory to getting on the call. So I'm going to screen share with you right now and show you my favorite way to create ease in that area to share your event. And actually how to do that with Zoom as well. So the first thing is you go into your Zoom and you're going to go to your personal meeting ID, which should be the top meeting room. If you can see my screen here, you'll see that I have multiple meetings that are reoccurring. So my one-on-one client, you can set reoccurring meetings with their own link, and those will happen at the same time every week. Or you can just start with your instant meeting by hitting copy. It's going to copy all the information for getting to your Zoom, and then you can do two things with that. You can go into an email like I have here and paste it and then just send it off, and it includes the meeting ID as well as the phone numbers to call in. So that's one way, but the most powerful way is actually to create a calendar event, because it will send reminders and people then can save that in their calendar and they won't be searching for their link. It's an easier way for them to find it. So I like to use Google Calendar. It's very easy, very efficient for this. You just go to the date of your meeting. You're going to click plus new event and hit more options to open it. Add the title, Jay's Zoom class, and then you're going to paste right in here in the description all the information for the meeting. Then you can take this meeting link right here, copy that, and put it right into the event location. And then you can add your guests by email right here. So they're actually going to receive an email to join. You can adjust the date here if it's a future date. You can have it repeat if you like to, and you can add these email reminders. So it's going to say, in 2 days, your Zoom meeting is coming up. You can set the dates, the times of the reminders. So you could set it for 15 minutes before your Zoom so that people are getting that reminder and getting there on time. Because as you know now that you've been doing it, people getting there on time so you can start on time is really important. So these reminders will really help that. You want to make sure if it's reoccurring, you set it reoccurring. Those reminders will come every day. Once you do it once, you never have to do it again. Add all your participants, boom. That creates so much ease. So we'll save that and you'll see it says, would you like to send invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? Send, now we're set, right? So that's awesome. So let me come back to my regular room. Let me see if there's anything else I want to show you on Zoom. The app you can keep right on your desktop like that, so you can open it at any time. And you can also do some presets if you want to on your meeting room, but that's like kind of getting into higher level. So you can ask me if you're interested in that. I'll do another video on that later. I want to stick to the basics here. Okay, so now I stopped the screen share. I want to go over with you if you would like to record. This is the other thing that you would want to do right when you get into the room. There's a couple things you want to do first off. So if you scroll to the bottom of your Zoom screen, right at the bottom, you're going to see a few things. The lower left-hand corner has a mute box. This is for a computer, laptop or desktop. This may be a little different on your laptop. So you'll have to Google or YouTube a training for using a iPad if you are. I don't have directions for that. But you have your lower mute and your stop video. So you want to make sure your mute is not muted and your video is on. So those are the first two things you would do. Then you can hit invite if you want to. If you feel like there's anyone that's lost or asked for the link, you can invite them right from here. And then you want to hit manage participants. This is the very first thing. When you hit manage participants at the bottom, on the right-hand screen, all the people that are there as of now are going to come. And you're going to want to, at the bottom of that column, it says mute all, unmute all, and more. So you are going to want to hit mute all, and that will not mute you, but it will mute everybody coming in, so they're coming into a quiet space, which is really helpful from the start. Then you can just talk to people as they're coming in and have them get ready and establish that from the beginning of the call. I highly recommend doing that versus coming into chaos, then people start in chaos. So you want to hit mute all. It will say all and new participants are muted, and you'll hit continue. Again, this will not automatically mute you. You will stay unmuted. Then as they come in, you can let them know, hey, welcome everybody. We're just getting grounded. We're waiting for people to join. You can give them a prompt, but it's nice to come into quiet space. You could even have some kind of music playing from your end or something like that to create a calm entry. I can't stress that enough when it comes to like pre-setting up and starting off your meeting. Then in a few minutes, I'll go over with you how to unmute and mute and create participation, but guarantee better to start that way. Also, for the view, you want to start on speaker view, which I will teach you in a moment. First, let's just look at the bottom and get to know the bottom of Zoom. So you can invite, you're going to start by managing your participants. You can share your screen during your meeting like I did. There's also a chat box. So when you hit chat box, it's going to bring up a lower column underneath your participant column if you hit manage participants. And that's where you can one-on-one chat with another leader. So if it's two teachers in the group and you don't want to be talking in front of everyone, you can click to that person's name and then just type privately to them, and the chat will only go to them. Or you can chat box with everyone, and that will show everyone in your group your chat box. That's a nice way to keep the line muted, but talk with each other if you're working with adults. If you're working with children, we'll get to that in a minute because you obviously can't, if they're not reading or typing yet, that won't work. But these are things you can use or plan into your strategy of your meeting. You can use the chat box. You can plan to have sharing aloud by unmuting. You can also do breakout rooms, which is advanced. If you want to learn that, ask me. I'll teach that in a different video. And you want to make sure that you start on time. Again, if you set up the meeting powerfully with your invites, people will be getting there more on time because they won't be searching for the link. You want to make sure your participants access that link easily. Sending it out 15 minutes before is a great way. Okay, so let's start with sound. The first thing is headphones are really powerful for you as the teacher. The headphones will eliminate your background noise, it will eliminate echo on your computer, and it will create a really clear sound from you to your participants. So I highly encourage you to wear and use headphones during your meeting. And now it comes to the mute and unmute section. So the main thing you're gonna want to be doing with this is using manage participants. It's the easier way to mute and unmute than trying to do it from the video or per person that way. When you hit manage participants on the bottom of your screen, it creates a list of people on the right side of your screen. And when you scroll over their name, you can mute and unmute them from there. So let's say I want to lead an introduction process where I'm saying, okay, I'd like everyone to come in. You're going to have 1 minute to say hello and share your name and where you're from. Then I can unmute them one at a time by calling on them. This will help it go faster. If you have a limited time and you're working with timing, you want to call out the people and do the unmuting. It's pretty easy if you just go down the line and unmute one at a time. So you'll click unmute, and then when they're done, you'll click mute again. Then you'll go to the next name on the list and go all the way down. The other option for this is if you look under manage participants, you'll see at the bottom there are 3 boxes. It says mute all, unmute all, or more. You can hit more, and that will allow, you can unmute participants on entry, or you can also let your participants know they can unmute themselves. This will take a little bit longer, but if you don't have the ability to deal with it and you just want to call their name, they can unmute themselves in the same way. But you actually, for them, they're just going to go to that lower left-hand corner and hit unmute on their screen. Or if they're in gallery view, they can scroll over their picture and unmute it. I'll talk to you about viewing in just one second. So that's the major thing. Mute and unmute you can use. The other thing is you just want to ask your participants as well to try to use headphones so that there's less echo noise on their part. And internet connection is a big deal as well for being able to be heard without delay. So if someone's internet is slow or there's a delay, what will help them to be heard better is actually to turn their video off. It will use more of their internet connection to have a solid connection. So if you don't have to have their video on, they have a choppy sound that's disruptive or delayed sound. Oftentimes, if they turn off their video, it will help a lot. Additionally, if it's a smaller meeting and you really want everyone to have a strong connection, if everyone keeps their video off, it helps connection across the board. But most of the time you want to see each other, and that's why you're on Zoom. So that's a few things to support you with sound. And again, I just encourage you to use the function of muting and unmuting. So it's a good idea when you want someone to be heard or someone's talking, always mute the call and just have that person talking. If you're giving a direction that you want to make sure everybody hears, then make sure that you mute everybody. If you're doing open connection time because you want to have chaos and sound, like maybe upon entry or closing, do that, but just do it for minimal amounts of time throughout the meeting so that people feel held by you and by the space. It's very important. Next is visual, which is equally important depending on what you're doing. And the two main things you're going to play with there is speaker view or gallery view. So right now I'm on speaker view, and I did two things to keep myself forward in speaker view. So the first is on the top right of your corner, you'll see that it says gallery view, and then there's an enter full screen mode. So you can hit gallery view, which would have your computer look like this. Then you would be able to see everyone at one time. This is a great way to have it for when you're wanting the group to see and experience that they're in a group and to notice and look at each other. And then speaker view is like this, and that's when you really want the focus to be on you or what you're sharing, and definitely on your screen. So this will work for you and your view and your recording, but you'll need to teach your participants this because they will need to know how to switch depending on what you're teaching, and you may ask them to do that. The way around that is that if you are on speaker view, then you can click on your own video, the three little dots there, and it'll say cancel the spotlight video or start the spotlight video. So if you cancel the spotlight video, what that is going to do is it's going to have whoever is speaking or making sound will automatically pop up as the big person on the screen. So if I was going to keep my line muted and then I was going to unmute Brent to share his name and where he's from, he would, in this view, speaker view and not having anyone on spotlight, when he starts speaking, if I'm quiet, he will pop up on the screen so everybody in the room will see him if they're on speaker view. Now, why this is important, see if you have the whole line unmuted, who we see is whoever makes a sound, and whoever is making a sound, different videos are popping up on the screen, and it's very distracting because you get lost in the mix as the teacher. So the best view for teaching is you want to be on speaker view and then spotlight your own video by clicking on the right-hand corner of your own video and hitting spotlight view. That brings you up to forward no matter who speaks. Then if you are inviting other people to share between you and that person, you would want to click those three dots in the corner of your video and hit cancel the spotlight view. So then whoever speaks is going to pop up as the big person on the screen for the whole crowd when they make a sound. So speaker view is great for when you want to be heard or when one other person is teaching. You want to use spotlight if you want the video to stay on you. So if you had everybody unmuted, but you wanted them to hear you, then you would keep it on speaker view spotlight. If you are wanting everybody unmuted and you want the sound to pop up wherever they are, you would want to have it off Spotlight so the sound moves to whoever's speaking. Again, you can use screen share, which is a powerful function for visual. It's at the bottom of your screen, and that will show what's ever up on your desktop or whatever you're seeing, they will see. And then again, if you need better connection, you can turn off video so that your connection and internet will get stronger. Those are the main points that will help you to create a really powerful experience. Start on time and end on time. Try using the unmute all just for the beginning and end and maybe a few spaces in between, but mostly be in charge of muting and unmuting. And again, if you've got too much going on, what I do when I'm leading circles or groups of women and there's lots of sharing or teaching or coaching happening is I will ask them all to be in charge of mute and unmute. And because we meet often, they start to learn this. So it would be if I call on Brent to raise his hand and speak right now, he will go to the top right-hand corner of his own video, click unmute, and be able to speak. And that allows everyone to have an engaged, connected, powerful experience to be able to learn. It allows you to have many people on a line, and it allows it to feel calm and centered and held. So if you want to experience a class with me, you can go to JanineYoder.com and get on my email list where you can join a future webinar or a sister circle or any training that you might like around running an online business, a soulful online business, or if you're interested in coaching, JanineYoder.com, you can go there to subscribe to my email list to find out future offerings or join a circle with me. And otherwise, I hope this really helps you to feel more confident and centered and excited, and the participants of your Zoom meetings to enjoy their experience more. And thank you for the work that you do and for bringing it online in this way. Sending you so much love. Oh, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to stop the recording, and I've shared it to one last little bit. You want to stop your recording at the end of your call, and you will either have it saved on your computer or saved in the cloud where then you can send and share with your participants. Okay, more soon. Bye.